All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Q&A live stream number 82. It is approximately 8:32 p.m. right here on the East Coast in the great state of New Jersey. Today what is today's date? Okay, Thursday, 2020. So we have a couple of topics to talk about today. Let's see, any major stores closing, news. So there is a couple of things to talk about. Gap and Banana Republic are closing 30% of their stores and malls by 2023. Bed Bath & Beyond is expected to close another store in the Syracuse area. And finally, we have some big news today. This is some very unfortunate, sad news. Sears Auto Center will be closing all of their Sears will be closing all of their. I'm sorry, Sears and Roebuck will be closing all of their auto centers by the end of 2020. So some very sad news, and unfortunately, the man that we can blame is Eddie Lampert for putting profits over people and for putting people out of work and out of a job. It's a real shame. And, Sears Auto Center is considered an essential retailer. So, this is a man who just loves playing around with people's livelihoods and putting people out of work. And look, COVID is not what killed Sears. Sears was already closing thousands of stores and putting thousands of people out of work prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. It's just the difference this time is the COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the process of closing all the stores. So both Sears and Roebuck and Lord & Taylor both really did suffer from bad leadership, except the only difference is Sears had a much bigger store fleet and Lord & Taylor had a much smaller store fleet, but Lord & Taylor had different leadership and they were going in all kinds of different directions, and unfortunately that's why Lord & Taylor is closing all their stores. Well, part of it is because of the bad leadership, and part of it is because of the global pandemic. So both of those you add together, it's literally a department store retail recipe for disaster, unfortunately. So, yeah, so that's pretty much it. So what was interesting, and I saw this on Facebook, Lord & Taylor at downtown Westfield, New Jersey was expected to be celebrating their 30th anniversary of being in that spot when they took over that building from Hain & Company. And that celebration was canceled, and now the whole company's liquidating. So that 30-year anniversary will not happen. It's a shame. It's the last store I have to get to. Personally, I would go tomorrow. The only thing is it's supposed to rain, so I am probably going to go next Friday. Again, I would go this Friday, but in part to the weather, I'd rather go on a sunnier day. So, but I am going to get there. I definitely want to get there, and I definitely want to do a store tour of that store. I mean, the building. So a couple reasons why I want to do that store tour. Number one, the building is from 1963. It was the second branch Hain & Company store after the Montclair store, and that store was the first like one of the first freestanding department stores in New Jersey. The building has been there since 1963, and from what I hear, developers are absolutely more than thrilled that Lord & Taylor is closing down that store because the developers see the building as obsolete. So that pretty much means developers are going to come in, the whole building is going to be bulldozed to the ground, and I could very well see a town center going there. The other choice, of course, is putting more residential housing, but I think they're going to stick with the town center considering of how close it is to downtown. It's kind of more of an expansion of the downtown, theoretically speaking. So we'll have to wait and see what happens down the road, but I'm sure construction probably won't begin in the post-COVID recovery. So, but it's a shame that we're losing a really cool, iconic department store building, and I believe, if I am correct on this, that is the one of the last two freestanding department stores in New Jersey that are not connected to a mall. I know it's the only Lord & Taylor in the state of New Jersey that's operating right now that is not connected to a shopping mall. So that's what really makes the store much more unique than the other Lord & Taylors that are connected to malls within the state of New Jersey. But yeah, Eddie Lampert has put profits over people, and it's just a real shame. Anyways, Hi, Elevators of Steel City by Otis Elevator Fan 102. How are you? Hi, Scott Shewitt. How are you? Hello, Dylan D. Jesus. Hello, Nicole Solar. Can you remember? We already did that. Yes, but Bloomingdale's isn't really looking to expand stores right now, unfortunately. Or if so, they're gonna radically change the footprint of them at least. Hey, Mohammed Sonic Boom, how are you? But anyways, so yeah. All right, I'll be right back, guys. I just have to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Did not mean to do that. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to use the bathroom real quick. Anyways, but yeah. So that's the plan for right now. And then I think until further notice, we're going to take a little bit of a break. Because right now there's really no other major department store closing at the moment. But like I said, once things do change, I will be getting to some more department stores pretty soon, depending on when they're going to be closing. Yeah, that's what I hear. That is exactly what I hear. They kind of want a Kohl's like concept, which is interesting for that company to take that approach. But I think going forward, that is probably what the stores are going to look like. So I think if Macy's and Bloomingdale's want a presence in like different retail areas, I think that's what they're going to have to be down the road because, you know, but yeah, I mean, this year we're seeing a lot of malls that are in some serious trouble. Pennsylvania Real Estate Investment Trust filing for Chapter 11. I could see Simon picking them up and picking up some of their properties. Another one that's not doing too well is Livingston. It's about to lose Lord & Taylor. It already lost Sears. Macy's could look to pull out of that mall. Freehold Raceway is in a lot of trouble. And in fact, I checked on their mall map. So the spot where Nordstrom was at the Freehold Raceway Mall is not even a traditional anchor store anymore. So just by looking on their website, you can tell that the mall is in some deep crap, and they need something entertainment there, and they need it fast because that mall is going to die if it doesn't have another anchor store. I mean, look, nobody counted on Nordstrom making the difficult decision to close 16 stores, nor did anybody count on Lord & Taylor closing all their stores. So it's unfortunate. It really is because these are some great iconic department store chains and architecture wise, but I guess architecture and jobs don't matter. All that matters is just that if the location does numbers, and I guess Freehold wasn't doing numbers. So it's a shame because I liked the Freehold store, and I wish personally I got to know that store a lot more because I preferred that store over the Menlo Park store personally. Elevator wise and atrium, well, yeah, atrium wise too. The best Nordstroms with the best atrium, I would have to say, is Westfield Garden State Plaza. That is hands down one of the best Nordstrom atriums. Menlo Park is a little bit like Freehold, not by much though. Yes, they both have the same type of elevators. It's just I prefer the Freehold one because that one has more of a bronze interior that's much lighter, and Menlo Park's interior is much darker. But I prefer the much lighter one, of course. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too happy about Eddie Lampert. I can't believe that he wants to close all the auto centers because he doesn't have enough money in his bank account. So I think that's pretty stupid to put those people out of work. Not to mention, not to mention, Sears Auto Center is an essential retailer. So pretty much he's putting an essential retailer out of business. I mean, not that anybody would go to Sears Auto Center, but clearly he saw something with Advanced Auto Parts and he wanted to make his billions while putting people out of a job, which is just absolutely disgraceful. And I think Eddie Lampert should be ashamed of himself for making all the deals before the pandemic, because that's what really killed Sears. The deals, the store closings, and think about how many malls have died because of the stores closing within the mall. I mean, Sears was already on its way out, but it's just a shame that when he took over in 2013, that was the beginning of the end for Sears. Like, I don't know, he got in and he's been doing it for since 2013, and once 2014 hit, things really took a turn for Sears, unfortunately. Hi, Michael. How are you? Yeah, they will close eventually. So, but right now it's just the auto centers. I don't know what's going to happen with Sears. Honestly, I'm just being honest. I don't think the company has a future. Personally, I mean, if not this year, Sears will be done next year. So, there's a rule. There's a rule, and there's a reason why. Yeah, Ross is actually opening up a store. What's it called? In ah, they're opening up one near uh, Long Beach Island, which that area has always needed one. There's a certain rule that I think Ross has to follow, and I think they can't go anywhere beyond like the Philadelphia area. I think that's a rule. Yeah, I mean, there's none in New York State either. So, but Pennsylvania has a couple, which is interesting. Oh, nice. Oh, that's good. Yeah, they are uh, in Ocean County. No, their limit is Mercer County, I believe. Yeah, we don't have any Rosses up here in North Jersey. There's a certain rule, I believe, where they can only go as far as Trenton, but they are in Jersey. They do have Rosses there. It's just they're very limited in their New Jersey market to certain spots of the state. So like Central Jersey, Mercer County, and like near Philadelphia. So they can be in New Jersey. It's just they're not in my area of New Jersey. Speaking of which, I want to check the NY Warren notice. Let's see what we got. Whoop. Empire State Realty. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any more store closing announcements now because it's getting pretty close to the holidays. But again, could be wrong because 2020 is really just a different year. Pittsburgh has some rules to address for less. What do you see coming to Rockaway Town Square in the future? They need a Boscov's. They need a Boscov's that mall. The reason? They have two choices of department stores. They could either go in the former Lord and Taylor, or they can go in the former Sears and Roebuck space. But I do think Boscov's would be ideal for that mall because it would fill the gap of a department store not being there. Personally, I think they're going to go more so for the Lord and Taylor because of the way that the Lord and Taylor is shaped. It would be very attractive for them, and I think the Sears will become something else. Personally, the Bridgewater Lord and Taylor, I think, could very well become New Jersey's second Saks Fifth Avenue because of how far away it is from American Dream. The Lord and Taylor in Westfield will get knocked down. Livingston will be redeveloped into something else. Willowbrook, same thing. Garnet State will be redeveloped into something else. Fashion Center will be a couple of other stores, I think. So I think you guys are going to be seeing a lot of redevelopment projects there. Yeah, yeah. Dillard's is the prop. Yeah, no, Dillard's is not coming to the Northeast anytime soon. Yeah, I think so too. Well, online retail certainly benefited between the months of March or towards the end of March, all of April. Nothing, no store was open in April. Yeah, that was off the table. And part of May. So I think so, personally. Because here's the thing the dynamic of the department store has changed. The reason I say that is because at the time when they made that statement, Lord and Taylor wasn't closing all their stores. I think the department store dynamic has changed now where they can say, okay, we can have a store at American Dream and a store at Bridgewater Commons. I don't think they're going to be looking into going into Short Hills. Something would have to vacate Short Hills in order for them to get in. Plus, they didn't really like the Short Hills store, which I don't know why. But I do think that Bridgewater Commons in the former Lord and Taylor spot shows them a great opportunity to be at an upscale mall. And there's enough upscale tenants where I think it would do really well, especially at that mall. So, anyways. Oh. Excuse me, guys. Ugh. So let's see what else is going on. See the news. Yeah. Jerry'll though in trouble. That's not a good thing. What will redevelop? I think so too. I think it's very ideal. It's a very ideal spot for them. Probably Primark will go there, most likely. What will redevelop the Lord and Taylor location in Manhasset? That's a good question. Because the building is a historical landmark, I think you're going to be seeing a bunch of smaller stores going in there. Carter is closing 200 stores. Yeah, I heard about that. Kind of sad, but not really. No. Here's the thing. You have the Owls at Bergentown Center in Paramus, and you have the Mills at Jersey Gardens. I don't think you want Livingston Premium Outlets. And the reason I say that, it's a little bit too close to Short Hills. and the area is not exactly an outlet oriented area. You know what I'm saying? Like otherwise I'd be like, "Oh yeah, let's do it." It's no. There's already too many competing outlet centers that are nearby that would affect that center. I think personally for Livingston, it'll be some kind of new town center. But the problem with Livingston is it's literally in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know what's going to happen with Livingston personally. But I do think Livingston is in a lot of trouble. I will say that, especially since Sears left and Lord and Taylor is closing. Macy's could probably pull out of there. I mean, I think that's just a no-brainer right there for Macy's to pull out of that mall. It's literally a no-brainer. You got the Short Hills one down the road, you got the one at Rockaway, and you got the one at Willowbrook. You know, unfortunately, it's just a no-brainer. And same thing with Woodbridge Center. Macy's could pull out of Woodbridge Center. I mean, I think they'd pull out of Brunswick Square first. Yeah, unfortunately, Brunswick Square isn't a growth store, so I think down the road, Brunswick Square is probably going to close too. As much as I hate to say that. Tandersville Premium Outlets, yes, I've heard of that one. No desire to go there, but yes, I've heard of it. So, Grove City Premium Outlets, no, I've never heard of them. No, because there's one thing Great Wolf Lodge and Kalahari have that American Dream doesn't: the beautiful scenery. But man, I will tell you that DreamWorks water park is insane. Like I want to go so badly. You guys have no idea. I mean, they have drop tower slides. They have a lazy river. They have a wave pool. It's just, I got to do it one day. Especially, I mean, I'm less than 20 minutes away from it, so I definitely want to see it. Yeah, I don't want to go to an outlet mall that's that in Pittsburgh if it's nothing special. The remaining Macy's stores on Long Island will continue to stay open. Correct. Because Hicksville closed March 2020 and it closed 5 days earlier because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but they were already like literally almost done with their liquidation. And Macy's and Comac, unfortunately, was forced to shut down. Well, it shut down when all of them shut down, but then by the time everything started opening up, especially here in the Northeast, the landlord held them to their word and said, "You got to be out of this building by June 30th." And it's a shame because I never got to see that store. It's an absolute, yeah. What a shame. What a shame for that store and location, which I probably should have done when I went out there back in February, but at the time I didn't know. So, but I'm glad I got to Hicksville. No regrets going to Hicksville. I don't think so, because here's the thing. I actually want to move you guys. Hold on, because I feel more. I feel a little bit more comfortable doing it like here. There we go. Much better. Let's in the camera over there. All right, there we go. Okay. No, because here's the thing: you can do stuff in the Poconos. There's not really what's it called? There's more to do there versus America. I mean, there's both to do with other places, but American Dream, there's not like a beautiful resort to go back to. It's just you go in the water park and get out. So that's what I see it as. Have you ever ridden the annoying freight elevator? Where's that? I think Macy's Sunrise Mall might close since the mall's in very bad shape. Yeah, I think so too. And with the way things are looking, I'm just going to move my laptop here, guys. I can't. I'm going to just move here. With the way things are looking with Sunrise Mall, New York, that mall's in a lot of trouble. The fact that the Westfield name is not on the mall anymore, they haven't renovated the mall. The JC Penney spot has sat vacant now for 3 years, and Sears is going to close any day in that mall. Yeah, that mall is in some very, very rough shape. And not to mention this, Dave and Buster's can't even open in New York. Dave and Buster's can't even open because of New York State's restrictions on arcades, which I think is just silly at this point. But it's a shame. Not much you can really do. So I think Sunrise is in deep, deep crap. But Westfield realizes that. And I think Westfield is shifting their focus to Westfield Garden State Plaza, Westfield World Trade Center, and Westfield South Shore. So they have malls they can focus on. So I think they're going to slowly transition away from being part of Sunrise Mall, and I'm not surprised. You know, it's unfortunately it's a dying mall, as much as I hate to say that. And I think the Wetzel's Pretzels is probably going to relocate from that mall to the Westfield South Shore Mall in Bayshore down the road. That is my prediction. If I'm right about that, make sure to leave that in the comments below on the next video. Interesting. Well, I'm not surprised. They haven't been open since like March 15th, so I'm not surprised. Yes, there are two Tanger outlet malls on Long Island, Tanger Riverhead and Tanger Deer Park. Deer Park is a lot closer to South Shore, though, from what I know at least. So, but yeah, what do you think the fate of the Wayne Dave & Buster's will be? From what I hear, the whole building is possibly might be replaced with a BJ's Wholesale Club, which honestly to me is very surprising for that mall. A very surprising move to put a BJ's. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's great that BJ's Wholesale Club is interested in the Passaic County market and wants them to have a wholesale club right within the county. But wow, that is a ballsy move. That is a very, very, very ballsy move by what's it called? Um, BJ's. Like the fact that they want to go in a former Sears and Roebuck store. So it could, and they might, honestly, to make way for the. I mean, because that's a big Sears and Roebuck spot. So I could see why BJ's really wants that store personally. So I got hired at Macy's at Smith Haven. I start next week. Awesome, man. Good luck. I think you're gonna have a really good time. Thanks. You too. Have a nice weekend. Yep, did not work out unfortunately. So, anyways, I think this is gonna be a quick stream tonight. Because I don't really have anything to talk about with you guys. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching Q&A live stream number 82, and we'll see you guys next time. That's it.